our soup, fish, buttered potato jackets, and British salad. The children have drunk British water. We have stuffed ourselves this evening, and all because we live on the outskirts of London, and because our name is Smith.
The buttered potato jackets were delicious, and the salad dressing wasn't rancid. The salad dressing they carry at the corner is a higher grade than the salad dressing they carry across the street. Though I wouldn't dream of telling them it was disappointing.
It's just the salad dressing at the corner is better.
Mary did a lovely job with the buttered potato jackets this evening. She didn't cook them well enough last time. I prefer them crisp.
The fish was so fresh it made me drool. I had 2 helpings. No, make that 3. You also had 3 helpings, but you took less the 3rd time, whereas I took much more. What's wrong with you? I eat rings around you. You usually eat me under the table. You aren't lacking in the appetite department.
The soup, however, was on the salty side. Saltier than you. There were too many leeks and not enough onions. I wish I had told Mary to add a pinch of aniseed. Next time, I'll know better.
Our little boy was hoping for a beer. He enjoys the buzz. Like father, like son. Did you see how he eyed the bottle? But I filled his glass with good old drinking British water instead.
He was parched, so he drank it. Helen takes after me. She's practical, a penny pincher, and a piano player. She never asks for British beer. She reminds me of our little girl who only drinks milk and only eats porridge. Well, what do you expect? She's only 2. Her name is Peggy.
The cane start with string beans was fantastic. We might have broken out a spot of Australian burgundy along with it for dessert, but I don't like having wine at the table for fear of turning the children into lushes. They must be taught moderation and sobriety.
Mrs. Parker knows a Romanian grocer by the name of Profesco Rosenfield, who just arrived from Constantinople.
He's a connoisseur of yogurt.
He has a diploma from the Andrew Institute of Yogurt Cultures.
Tomorrow I'm going to buy a big pot of native Romanian yogurt from him. Opportunities like this don't pop up every day of the week, here in the outskirts of London. Yogurt is excellent for the stomach, the kidneys, appendicitis, and apotheosis. That's what Dr. Mackenzie King told me. He takes care of our neighbors' children, the Johns. He's a good doctor. You can trust him. He never prescribes medication he hasn't tried on himself first. But before operating on Parker, he operated on his own liver, even though there was nothing wrong with it.
Then how come he pulled through and Parker died?
Because the operation was successful in his case, but not in Parker's.
Then Mackenzie King isn't a good doctor. The operation should succeed for them both, or they both should die.
Why?
Because a conscientious doctor should die with his patient if he can't cure them. The captain of a ship goes down with his boat into the briny deep. He doesn't think about saving his own skin.
You can't compare a patient with a boat.
Why not? Boats have their ailments too, and your doctor is as sound as a battleship. That's why he should have gone down with his patient, like the doctor on the ship.
Perhaps it is true, but what is your point?
That all doctors are quacks, and that goes for their patients too. Only the Royal Navy can be trusted in Great Britain.
But not Marines.
Indeed.
Something I've never understood. Given their interest in civilized society, why is it that newspapers always print the ages of the deceased, but not the newborn? It doesn't make any sense.
I never thought of it before.
Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding.
Good grief, Bobby Watson is dead.
My God, the poor chap. When did he die?
Why do you sound so surprised? He died 8 years ago. We went to his funeral about 1.5 years ago.
I'm not surprised. I just don't understand your surprise at reading it in the paper.
It wasn't in the newspaper. Can a fellow feel so cheered?
What a shame. He was so well preserved.
Oh, why yes, the most smashing corpse in Great Britain. Alas, poor Bobby. It's been 4 long years since his death, and he's still warm. A truly unruly cadaver. What a gay blade.
Poor Bobby.
Which poor Bobby do you mean?
Why, his wife, like him, she was also called Bobby. Bobby Watson. Because they had the same name, you could never tell them apart when they were together. It was only after he died that you could tell which was which.
There are still those to this very day who confuse her with her dead husband and offer their condolences. Do you know her?
We only met once by chance at Bobby's funeral.
I've never met her. Is she pretty?
Her features are conventional. You couldn't call her a beauty. She's too tall and tubby. Wait, never mind. Her features aren't conventional. So she is very much a beauty. She's a bit small and scrawny. She's a voice teacher.
Ding dong, ding dong, ding.
It's a shame she was widowed so young.
Luckily, she didn't have any children.
That's all she would have needed. Children. The poor woman, what would she have done with them?
Perhaps she'll remarry. Mourning does become her.
But then who will take care of the children? You know perfectly well she has a son and a daughter. What are their names again?
Bobby and Bobby. Like their parents, Bobby Watson's uncle is rich, and he dotes on the boy. He could easily foot the bill for Bobby's education.
Well, it's the proper thing to do.
And Bobby Watson's aunt, daughtery Bobby Watson, could pay for the education of Bobby Watson, the daughter of Bobby Watson.
That way Bobby Watson's mother, Bobby, would be free to remarry. Does she have anyone in mind?
Yes, one of Bobby Watson's cousins.
Which one? Bobby Watson?
Which Bobby Watson do you mean?
Why, Bobby Watson,
the son of old Bobby Watson, the other uncle of Bobby Watson, the deceased.
No, not him. The other one. Bobby Watson, the son of Daughtry Bobby Watson, the aunt of Bobby Watson, the deceased.
Are you talking about Bobby Watson, the traveling salesman?
All the Bobby Watsons are traveling salesmen.
Tough business. One can do well, however.
Yes, when there's no competition.
And when is there no competition?
Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Tuesdays.
3 days a week. And how does Bobby Watson spend them?
He takes it easy. He naps.
But why doesn't he work those 3 days if there's no competition?
I don't know everything. I can't answer all your bloody questions.
Oh, are you trying to humiliate me?
Who, me? Never!
Men, you're all alike. You lie around all day, cigarette dangling from your mouth or powdering your nose and painting your lips 50 times a day.
And what would you say if you saw men acting like women, smoking all day, powdering their noses, smearing on lips?
You're just trying to get my goat. I hate it when you get around and you know it.
Oh, my little guinea hen. Why are you ruffling your feathers? You know I'm just teasing you.
What a ridiculous pair of old lovebirds we are.
Let's turn off the lights and go Betty Buys.
I am the maid. Just say the maid. I'm the maid. Maid that I'm the maid. I am the maid.
I'm the maid. I'm the maid. I'm the maid. I just had the most delightful afternoon. I went to the pictures with a chap and saw a film with some ladies. After the picture, we stopped for a spot of brandy and milk and read the newspaper.
I hope you had a delightful afternoon. That you went to the pictures with a chap and then stopped for a spot of brandy and milk.
Don't forget the newspaper.
Your guests, Mr. and Mrs. Martin, are at the door. They're waiting for me. They don't dare come in unannounced. They're supposed to dine with you this evening. Ah, yes. We were expecting them. We're starving. We were going to dine without them because they're not here. We haven't had a bite all day. You shouldn't have deserted us.
But I went with your blessings.
I wasn't thinking.
I bought myself a chamber pot.
My dear Mary, would you be good enough to open the door and show Mr. and Mrs. Martin in? We'll change in a jiffy.
Why are you so late? It's extremely rude. You're supposed to be on time. Understand? You can take a seat over there. 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 And wait.
Pardon me, my dear lady, but unless I am mistaken, I feel like I've seen you somewhere.
Me too, dear sir. I feel as though I have met you before.
Could I have spotted you at Manchester by any chance?
It's entirely possible. I'm from the city of Manchester. But I have a poor memory, my dear sir, so I can't say whether I've seen you there or not.
Oh, how baffling! I'm originally from the city of Manchester, my dear lady.
Most baffling.
Most baffling indeed. I left the city of Manchester about 5 weeks ago, my dear lady.
How baffling, and what a bizarre coincidence. I too left the city of Manchester about 5 weeks ago, my dear sir.
I took the 8:30 morning train and arrived in London at 4:45, my dear lady.
How bizarre, and what a baffling coincidence. I took the very same train, my dear sir.
Oh, well then perhaps I saw you on the train, my dear lady.
It's entirely possible. It's not out of the question. It's plausible, and why not? But alas, I don't remember, my dear sir.
I travel second class, dear lady. Of course, there's no second class in Great Britain, but I make a point of traveling second class, just the same.
How bizarre and how baffling and what a coincidence. I too traveled second class, dear sir.
Most baffling indeed. Then perhaps it was in second class that we met, my dear lady.
It's possible, more than possible. But alas, I don't remember very well, dear sir.
My seat was in coach number 8, compartment 6, dear lady.
How baffling! My seat was also in coach number 8, compartment number 6, my dear sir.
How baffling. Perhaps we met each other in compartment 6, dear lady.
It's entirely possible after all, my dear sir. However, I don't believe I remember.
But I don't remember seeing you either, but it seems that we might have seen each other there, and if I put on my thinking cap, it seems entirely probable.
I say indeed, well done, jolly good, dear sir.
Oh, I was in seat number 6, next to the window, my dear lady.
Oh, good God, I had seat number 6 next to the window across from you, my dear sir.
Oh, well then it seems we are sitting face to face, my dear lady.
How baffling. It's entirely possible. But alas, I don't remember, my dear sir.
To tell the truth, I don't remember either, but it is possible that we saw each other there, and as I think of it, it seems to me even very likely.
You've got a point, but I can't be sure, dear sir.
Dear madam, were you not the woman who asked me to place her luggage up in the luggage rack, and who thanked me kindly and gave me permission to smoke?
Of course! It must have been me, dear sir. How baffling. How very baffling.
Oh, most baffling, and what a bizarre coincidence. It was perhaps there at that moment that I met you, my dear lady.
Oh my God, what a coincidence. It's entirely possible after all, my dear sir. However, I don't believe I remember.
Nor do I, dear lady.
Ding dong!
Dong!
Since coming to London, I have been living in Bromfield Street, dear lady.
How baffling, and what a bizarre coincidence. I too have been living on Bromfield Street since coming to London, my dear sir.
How baffling. But then, perhaps we met each other in Bromfield Street, my dear lady.
It's entirely possible, but alas, I can't say I remember, my dear sir.
I live at number 19, my dear lady.
How baffling. I also live at number 19, my dear sir.
But then perhaps it was there that we met, my dear lady.
It's entirely possible. But alas, I don't remember very well, dear sir. Oh.
My flat is on the 5th floor, dear lady.
What a bizarre coincidence. I too live on the 5th floor in flat number 8, my dear sir.
How baffling, how baffling, how baffling. My room has a bed, and this bed has a green duvet. And this room with the bed and the green duvet is at the bottom of the hall between the library and the loo. my dear lady.
What a coincidence. Oh my God, what a coincidence. My bedroom also has a bed, covered with a green duvet, and it too is at the bottom of the hall, between the library and the loo, my dear sir.
How bizarre, baffling, and beyond the pale. It seems that we sleep in the same room and in the same bed. Perhaps that's where we bumped into each other.
How baffling. It's entirely possible after all, but perchance we met there last night. But I can't say I remember, my dear sir.
I have a little girl, my little daughter who lives with me. She is 2 years old and blonde. She has one white eye and one red eye. She's very pretty, and her name is Alice, my dear lady.
What a bizarre coincidence. I also have a little girl who's 2 years old, with one white eye and one red eye, who's very pretty and named Alice, my dear sir.
How baffling and how bizarre. Perhaps they are one and the same, dear lady.
How baffling indeed. It's entirely possible, my dear sir.
Ding dong, 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 ding dong.
Then, my dear lady,
There's no doubt we have met before, and you are my lawful wife. Elizabeth, at last I have found you!
Donald, darling, it's you.
Donald, darling, it's you.
Donald, darling, it's you.
Elizabeth and Donald are too over the moon to hear me, so I can let you in on a secret.
Elizabeth is not Elizabeth.
Shh. And Donald is not Donald. And here's the proof. The little girl Donald was talking about is not Elizabeth's daughter. They're not one and the same. Donald's daughter has one white eye and one red eye, like Elizabeth's daughter. But Donald's child has a white right eye and a red left eye, whereas Elizabeth's child has a red right eye and a white left eye. So, his entire argument goes up into smoke when it hits this loophole, turning his theory into dust and ashes. In spite of the extraordinary coincidences which seem rock solid, Donald and Elizabeth, not being the parents of the same child, are not Donald and Elizabeth. He can fancy he's Donald, she can fancy she's Elizabeth. He can fancy she's Elizabeth, and she can fancy he's Donald. But both are sadly deluded.
And who is the real Donald?
You ask?
And who is the real Elizabeth?
Who wants to prolong this agony? It beats me. I say we drop the whole affair and leave things as they are. In case you're interested, my real name is Sherlock Holmes. Ding dong!
Let's forget everything that hasn't happened between us, darling. Now that we're together, let's try not to lose each other again and continue on our merry way.
Yes, darling.
Good evening, dear friends. Forgive us for making you wait so long, but we wanted to give you the courtesy you so richly deserve. The moment we heard you were coming without giving us so much as a fever warning, we rushed to change into black tie and tails.
We haven't eaten all day. You kept us waiting for 4 hours. Why are you so late?
Absolutely.
We all have colds.
Yet it's not cold outside.
There's no draft.
Thank our lucky stars.
My, oh my, oh my. Close the window, come on. Are you depressed?
No, he's bored to death.
Oh, sir, at your age? Really?
The heart is ageless.
It's true.
So they say. And they also say the opposite.
The truth is somewhere in between.
Right you are!
Since you travel so much, you must have lots of interesting stories out there.
Tell them what you saw today, darling.
It's not
We wouldn't doubt you for a moment.
You insult us, that's what you think.
You will insult them if that's what you think.
All right. I saw something extraordinary yesterday. Truly incredible.
Quick, spit it out, my dear.
We're going to be entertained.
So, I went to the supermarket to buy some vegetables, which are becoming increasingly dear.
Don't interrupt, my love. Nasty, nasty.
I saw a man next to a cafe on the street, conservatively dressed, around 50 or so.
What? Don't interrupt, my love. You are being disgusting.
You interrupted first, my pet. You bore.
That's enough!
And what was this man doing?
He was down on one knee,
And?
and he was bending over. Oh! Yes! Bending over.
Impossible!
Bending over. And he was tying his shoelace, which had come undone.
My God, I wouldn't have believed you if it hadn't come from your lips.
Why not? One sees much more extraordinary things out there. For example, this morning, while I was in the queue, I was sitting in my seat. I saw a man quietly reading the newspaper.
What an odd duck.
Perhaps it was the same man.
Good grief, the doorbell!
There must be someone
another example.
Good grief, the doorbell!
There must be someone there. I'll go and see. Nobody.
You said you were going to give us another example.
Ah, yes. Good grief, the doorbell!
I'm not going to answer it.
Yes, but someone must be there.
The first time there was nobody.
The second time, nobody.
What makes you think there's someone there now?
Because they ran.
That's no reason.
Now, what are you talking about? If someone's at the door, they'd ring them out. If they rang, you'd let them in.
Not always, as you just saw.
But in most cases, yes.
Whenever I go to someone's house, I ring the bell to get in. It's what people do. When the doorbell rings, it's because someone is there.
It's true in theory, but in reality things are much different, as you just saw.
Your wife is right.
Oh, you women, you're always sticking up for each other.
All right, I'll go check again. You can't say I'm knocking. You'll see, no one will be there.
What did I tell you? Nobody!
Ah, men. They always think they're right, but they're always wrong.
Good grief! The doorbell has rung once again!
You're not going to send me to that bloody door again. As we have seen, it is pointless. We have learned from experience that every time the doorbell rings, no one is ever there.
Oh.
Never.
That's not always true.
He can't admit he's wrong.
Yes, but someone is there.
No!
Yes!
I said no! In any case, you're not going to bother me again. If you want to make sure, go see for yourself.
I'm going. Bien, je suis enchanté de vous voir. It's the fire captain.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen.
Good day, Mrs. Smith. You seem a little angry.
Oh.
My wife is just a bit miffed and been proven wrong.
There's been a running argument between Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Captain.
It's none of your business. How many times do I have to tell you not to drag strangers into our family squabbles?
Calm down, my kitten. It's not that serious. The fire captain's an old friend of the family's. His mother courted me, and I knew his father. He wanted to marry my first daughter if I ever had one, and sadly, he died waiting.
It's neither his fault nor yours.
All right, what's going on
My
here?
husband was blaming
you.
me.
Yes, it was. All right, don't get your knickers in a twist. Just tell me what happened, Mrs. Smith.
Well, all right. I'm a bit wary of getting my hair done with you, Captain. But then again, the fireman is also a professor.
Go on.
You see, we were arguing because my husband here was saying that every time the doorbell rings, someone must be there.
It's plausible.
And I was saying that whenever the doorbell rings, no one is ever there. It might seem strange, but it's been proven, not by theoretical wool gathering, but by hard facts.
Not true, because the fire captain is here. He rang the bell, I opened the door, and there he was.
When?
Just now.
Yes, but it was only after hearing the doorbell ring 4 times that you found someone there, and the 4th time doesn't count. Exactly, only the first 3 times count.
Let me ask you a few questions, Captain.
Be my guest.
When I first opened the door last time, and I saw you standing in the doorway right there, was it you who had rung the bell that time?
Yes, it was me.
You were at the door, so you rang to get in.
I can't deny it.
Yes! I was right. Whenever the doorbell rings, it's because someone is there, because you cannot say the fire captain is not somebody.
Well, certainly not. However, let me repeat myself. I was only referring to the first 3 times because the 4th time doesn't count. So when the doorbell rang the first time, it wasn't you.
No.
You see, the doorbell rang and no one was there.
Perhaps it was someone else.
Were you at the door a long time?
3/4 of an hour.
My God, you saw no one.
Nobody, I'm sure.
Did you hear the doorbell ring the 2nd time?
Yes, but no one was ever there.
Victory, I was right.
Not so fast! And what were you doing at the door?
I was taking it easy. Had a lot on my mind.
And the 3rd time the doorbell rang, was it you who had rung?
Yes, it was me.
Hold on. But when we answered the door, no one was there.
No, that's because I was hiding. I was playing a joke.
Oh!
Sure.
This isn't no laughing matter, Captain. It's a very sad affair.
Nevertheless, when the doorbell rings, we still do not know whether someone is there or not.
Never anyone.
Always someone.
Okay. Let me get things straight. You're both partially right. Now, when the doorbell rings, sometimes someone is there, and sometimes someone is not there.
It seems logical to me.
Me too.
It's actually all very simple. Go on. Kiss and make up.
Kissed just a little while ago.
They'll kiss tomorrow. They have plenty of time.
Now that you've helped us shed light on all this, make yourself comfortable, Captain. Take off your helmet and sit down for a minute.
Forgive me, but I can't stay long.
I'd like to take off my helmet.
But I don't have time to sit down.
I have to confess, I came for other reasons.
I'm on official business.
And how can we help you, Captain?
What? Well, I beg of you to forget my impudence. May I meet in front of them?
Feel free.
We're all friends. We tell each other everything. Carry on.
Okay. Here goes. Is there a fire here?
Why do you ask?
Well, you see, I have orders to extinguish all fires in the town.
All of them?
Yes, all of them.
I don't think so. Would you care to have a look around?
There can be no fire here, for I smell nothing burning with my nose.
Nothing? A small chimney fire? Something smoldering in the attic or basement?
A few sparks starting to fly.
Look, I don't mean to disappoint you, but we have nothing at the moment. I promise to let you know the moment we do.
It'd be a big help.
It's a promise.
And nothing's burning at your house either?
Alas, no.
Things are looking pretty grim around here.
Since you have time on your hands, why don't you stay a bit longer, Captain? It would give us such pleasure.
Would you like me to tell you some stories?
Please do. You're charming.
Fire Captain stories are the greatest. They're real life. They've been lived.
Yes, I tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. No fiction.
Truth isn't found in books, only in real life.
Begin!
Begin.
He's beginning!
Oh, please. Don't look at me that way. You're embarrassing. You know I'm shy.
Isn't he charming?
All right. I'll try to begin again, but try not to listen.
But if we don't listen, then we won't be able to hear you.
I hadn't thought of that.
Oh, the dear child.
Oh, the dear child.
Stick up her lip.
All right. I'll tell you a story. The dog and the ox. An experimental fable. Now, once upon a time, another ox asked another dog, "Why haven't you swallowed your trunk?" The dog replied, "It's because I thought I was an elephant."
And what's the moral?
That's for you to sort out.
He's right.
Tell us another.
The calf. A calf once ate too much ground glass. As a result, he had to give birth and a cow was born. Because this calf was a male, he certainly couldn't call him mother, and he certainly couldn't call him father because he was too young. As a result, the calf had to get married, and the county collected everything in its effort to dot his I's and cross his T's.
How do you cross it? How do you cross a T?
But how do you cross that T?
With a stroke.
With a stroke. With a stroke.
But if he has a stroke, he'll die.
Poor thing.
I can't dot my T's, but I can cross my I's. Look!
All right. I'll tell you another one. The cock. Now, once upon a time, there was a cock who wanted to play the dog. But the cock couldn't play the dog because he was recognized right away.
On the other hand, the dog who wanted to play the cock was never recognized.
Now it's my turn. I want to tell one. The snake and the fox. Once upon a time, a snake approached a fox. "I think I know you." The fox replied, "I think I know you too." "Then hand over some money," the snake said.
The fox doesn't handle money.
The clever creature replied, who then beat a hasty retreat by jumping into a deep valley full of strawberries and apiaries. But he didn't have a prayer. With a well-chosen blow, the snake bit him straight in the chest, which then broke into 1,000 pieces as he cried, "No, no, no, not your daughter! Get off me!"
Interesting.
My congratulations.
Wasn't that great?
Plus, I'd heard it before. That was terrible.
It wasn't really true.
Oh, but alas it was.
And now it's your turn, dear lady.
All right. I only know one. It's called the bouquet.
My wife has always been a romantic. A dyed-in-the-wool English woman.
Once upon a time, a man gave his wife a bouquet. She said, "Thank you." But before she could get the words out of her mouth, he snatched it back to teach her a lesson, saying,
Hand it over!
Then he tucked it under his arm, bid her farewell, and disappeared over the horizon.
Mr. Smith, you have a wife that makes us scream with envy.
My wife is intelligence personified. She's much more intelligent than I am, and much more masculine too. So they say.
Tell us another, Captain.
Oh yes.
No, it's getting late.
Now you tell us one anyway.
I'm too tired.
Come on, be a good egg, please.
No.
You have a heart of ice, and we're sitting on hot coals. Tell us another one, Captain. We beg of you.
If you insist.
Yes. The head cold. My brother-in-law on my father's side had a first cousin whose paternal uncle had a father-in-law whose paternal grandfather took an aborigine as a second wife. A young woman whose brother he met on his travels, a girl he was mad about, with whom he had a child who married a fearless female pharmacist, who was none other than the niece of an unknown fourth-class petty officer of the Royal Navy, whose adoptive father had an aunt who spoke fluent Espanol, Spanish, who might have been one of the granddaughters of an electrical engineer who died young, but who was also the owner of a vineyard which produced second-rate wine, but who had a second cousin, an agoraphobic, a sergeant major, whose son married a bombshell, a divorcee, but whose first husband, a loyal patriot, who eager to strike it rich, raised one of his daughters to marry a big game hunter who knew Rothschild, whose brother, after flitting from job to job, married and had a daughter whose grandfather was a midget, who wore spectacles which was given to him by one of his cousins, the brother-in-law of a Portuguese, if you please, the natural son of a pastry chef, which was pretty well off, whose third wife, after leaving...
I knew his third wife. She dined on chicken in a hornet's nest.
It's not the same.
Well, let me tell you something.
As I was saying, whose third wife was the daughter of the best midwife in the area, which was widowed before her time.
Oh, like my wife.
Who remarried a glass blower with a get-up and go, which had a child with the son of a station master, which tripped her like fantastic.
Who tried to gymnastics.
Then took his vows monastic.
A curious tale, almost unbelievable.
If you catch a cold, you must wrap it up.
A useless precaution, but absolutely necessary.
Toss another, Captain.
We beg of you.
I don't know if I have the time. I'm on duty.
Oh, we don't have the correct time here.
But what about the clock?
It has a wayward streak to it. It's always the opposite hour of what it's supposed to be. Look, here, let me show you.
and warmth to it.
I thought it was first rate.
Just the same.
You exaggerate.
Listen, it's all true in my view of the world, my ideal, my dream, but you don't have the correct timing exactly. 3/4 of an hour and 16 minutes on the fire the other side of town. I have to get a wiggle on, even though it won't amount to much.
And what will it amount to? A small chimney fire?
Not even. Smoking grate and a touch of heartburn. Well, we're sorry to see you go.
Yes, you've been most entertaining. Thanks to you, we passed a 30 partays in quarter now.
Since we're on the subject, what do you make of the bald soprano?
She always styles her hair the same way.
Even though she's bald.
And a bid thee farewell, gentlemen.
Ladies.
Good luck and good fire.
Let's hope so, for
For
everyone's
everyone's sake.
May I have your trousers?
I could buy a pocket knife for my brother, but you can't buy Ireland for your grandfather.
We walk with our feet, but stay warm with electricity and coal.
Salad full today and tomorrow you'll have one. One must look out the window of life.
We can sit in a chair, even if the chair isn't heavy.
Leave those on.
The seating is involved.
I think it's the bigger.
Take the sword, take the rest that sword. That's
Children can read, but a cat softens kids when they're young.
Cows, however, turn on their tail.
When I'm in the country, I love the solitude and quiet.
You're not old enough for that yet.
Benjamin Franklin is right. You're less relaxed here.
What are the 7 days of the week?
Oh, yes.
Sing on.